understanding the topics as well. Yes, we will discuss concepts as well. All right, you will get to learn concepts. Okay, yes. Roman de la Rose. Then we also had his short poem, An ABC. An ABC. An ABC is also a short poem by Chaucer before this work came. An ABC. Yes, An ABC is very popular actually. Next, tell me, the House of Fame. In the House of Fame, it is for the first time that Dante's epic of a journey to paradise, purgatory, and hell, the Divine Comedy, is echoed in English. Is it true? In the House of Fame, it is for the first time that Dante's epic of a journey to paradise, purgatory, and hell of the Divine Comedy is echoed for the first time in English. Yes, correct. Correct. The House of Fame, a dream allegory by Chaucer. It is often considered a parody of Dante's Divine Comedy. Yes, it is a parody of Dante's Divine Comedy. Correct. Correct. Tell me the names of two works which were inspired by Chaucer's The House of Fame. Which two other works were inspired by Chaucer's The House of Fame? Lidgett's The Temple of Glass and Alexander Pope's The Temple of Fame. Lidgett's The Temple of Glass and Pope's The Temple of Fame. The Temple of Fame. Yes, that's correct. Okay. Next, tell me. The Canterbury Tales by Chaucer. It absorbs literary, historical, religious, social, and moral concerns and transcends them all. Is that true? Is that true? Yes. The Canterbury Tales. First, tell me this poem, or not poem, this work rather. Tell me, it is set in which month? The Canterbury Tales is set in which month? April. So we have the opening lines here of the general prologue of the Canterbury Tales. So I want you to first look at these lines, and then from these lines, I will ask you a question. Please read these lines first. When that April with his showers suit, the drought of March hath pursed the root, and bathed every vein in switch liquor, of which virtue engendered is the flower. When Zephyrus eke with his sweet breath, inspired hath in every halt and heath. First, let me know if you all have read these lines. Only then I will go on to ask you the question. So here we see the term Zephyrus. What does Zephyrus mean? What does Zephyrus mean? Is it north wind, south wind, west wind, or night breeze? Is it north wind, south wind, west wind, or night breeze? Zephyrus refers to the west wind because in Greek mythology, Zephyrus is the god of the west wind. And here Chaucer uses this allusion to refer to the gentle, life-giving breeze of spring that helps plants grow. This question came in one of the set exams last year in 2025, that what does Zephyrus mean? Which lines should I repeat, Deepa? Deepa, right, yes. Which lines do you want me to repeat? The opening lines? The opening lines? If you want the opening, yes, I will just copy paste the lines to you here so that you can look at it aram se. See here. Okay. All right. Yes. The play Antigone, who is in the form of a dream. Then I will go on to ask you the question. So here we see opening lines. If you want the opening, yes, I will just copy paste the lines to you here so that you can look at it aram se. See here. Okay. All right. Yes. Next. In the Legend of Good Women, Chaucer used what for the first time? In the Legend of the Good Women, Chaucer used heroic couplets for the first time. Heroic couplets for the first time, correct. I have one more question for you from the Legend of Good Women. Just a second. Yeah. Yes. The Legend of Good Women is a dream allegory. True or false? Is it a dream allegory? Yes, yes. It is a dream allegory. It is. This poem is in the form of a dream vision or dream allegory. Please check these minute details. Because last time, in the last NET exam, which happened in January, right? 5th January, I think the exam happened. They asked this pattern of questions. But they will give you 4 or 5 statements. And they will ask you which of the following statements are true or which of the following statements are wrong. So you have to know these details really well to mark the correct options. Okay, so the Legend of Good Women is indeed a dream allegory, right? Yes, yes, correct. In the prologue of the Legend of Good Women, it describes how Chaucer is reprimanded by the god of love and his queen Alceste for his works, such as Troilus and Cresside, which depicts women in a poor light. Is it true? Yes, yes. The prologue of the Legend of Good Women, it shows how Chaucer is almost scolded by the god of love and his queen Alceste. Alceste, right. Okay, yes, correct. Next, tell me. Who is the first pilgrim to come to the Tabard Inn? Who is the first pilgrim to come to the Tabard Inn? The knight, the knight. And is he the first person to tell the first tale? He tells which tale? He tells which tale? Which tale is told by the knight? Palamon and Arcite, correct. Palamon and Arcite, correct. Correct. Just after the knight, who tells the tale? Just after the knight, who tells the next tale? The miller. The miller. Okay, okay. Okay. The tale of the miller is a body fabliau. Is it correct? Is it a body fabliau? Fabliau means a comic tale. Yes, it's a body fabliau. Correct, correct. Yes. So if I tell you the miller's tale is an old-fashioned tale, a story of deception in war, almost similar to the knight's tale, will that be true or false? No, 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 no. It is not true. It is false. Miller's tale was exact opposite of the knight's tale. Yes, Miller's tale was the exact opposite of the knight's tale. Yes, his tale was immoral. Correct. Correct. Okay, right. Okay. Next, tell me. Yes, in the Canterbury Tales, who tells the longest tale? Who tells the longest tale? The wife of Bath. The wife of Bath. Okay. Right. Good. Next, tell me. Which character always asks in the Canterbury Tales, if gold rusts, what would iron do? If gold rusts, what would iron do? It is the parson. It is the parson. Correct. Correct. It is the parson. Who was ready with a pillowcase which he asserts is Our Lady's veil. Is Our Lady's veil. It is the pardoner. Is the pardoner shown as a very shrewd character? Shrewd, manipulative, clever, deceitful. Yes, yes, he's a very shrewd character. So does it represent the hypocrisy of the religious community? Yes, they're hypocrites, they're shrewd, they're selfish, they're self-centered. Correct, correct. Okay. Next, tell me. Is it all okay till now? Do you have any confusion with any question? Okay, okay. All right, all right. Next, tell me. Which dream allegory begins with a view of the Malvern Hills? Which dream allegory starts with a view or with a vision of the Malvern Hills? Piers Plowman. Piers Plowman. Yes. Who wrote Piers Plowman? Very easy question. Who wrote Piers Plowman? It is by William Langland. Was Langland a contemporary of Chaucer? Was Langland a contemporary of Chaucer? Yes, yes. Do you find connotations of Christianity or references to Christianity in this work? Yes, yes, correct, correct. There are references to Christianity in this work. Yes, very good. Now, was William Langland part of alliterative revival? Was William Langland part of alliterative revival? That's correct. Yes, yes. Who wrote Summa Theologica? Who wrote Summa Theologica? Who wrote Summa Theologica? It is by Thomas Aquinas. Thomas Aquinas. The Summa Theologica, often referred to as just Summa. It is the best known work of Thomas Aquinas. Thomas Aquinas was a theologian and doctor of the church. And this work, Summa Theologica, is a compendium of all the main theological teachings of the Catholic Church. This work was originally published in which year? This work originally came out in which year? Originally. Yes, I will spell it out. I will type it. Yes, this work originally came out in 1274, but it was published in English much later in 1911. This work originally was published in 1274, and it was published in English in 1911. Almost 2 years back, NTA had asked the chronology of this work. Almost 2 years back, NTA had asked the chronology of this work, Summa Theologica by Thomas Aquinas, a theologian and doctor of the church. All right? Okay. Tell me, what is common to John Lydgate, Thomas Hoccleve, George Ashby, Henry Bradshaw? What is common to them? All of them are English Chaucerians. All of them are English Chaucerians. Okay, right. Next, tell me. King James I of Scotland, Robert Henryson, William Dunbar, they were Scottish Chaucerians. They were Scottish Chaucerians, also called Macars. Also called Macars. Right? Who wrote the Testament of Cresside? Who wrote the Testament of Cresside? It is Robert Henryson. Robert Henryson. Who wrote the Golden Turge, the Thistle and the Roys? William Dunbar. William Dunbar. Okay. Right. Yeah. Next, tell me. This is also an important question. Just a second. I hope I have not lost that question. Huh. The best known cycles of miracle or mystery plays come from York, Wakefield, and Chester. Is it true or false? The best known cycles of miracle or mystery plays, come from York, Wakefield, and Chester. Is it correct? Yes, 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 correct. Okay. King Alfred encouraged the use of the vernacular in the late 9th century, but he made it clear that this was very much second best, necessitated by the deplorably low standards of Latin learning in his kingdom. Is it true? Yes, yes. Correct. King Alfred is also a very important figure. King Alfred, he had facilitated many translations of major works in vernacular. That is in English. He was the major facilitator of the translations of major works into English. Right? Yes. An important question which might confuse many. First, tell me, which is the oldest morality play? Which is the oldest morality play? No. Everyman is the most popular morality play. The Castle of Perseverance. The Castle of Perseverance is the oldest morality play, and Everyman is the most popular one. Okay? So, the Castle of Perseverance, oldest morality play, and Everyman is the most popular one. Okay, yes. What type of work is The Four Ps by John Haywood? What type of work is The Four Ps by John Haywood? It is an interlude. It is an interlude. Correct. The main idea of interlude was entertainment. True or false? Entertainment. Right. Correct. Okay. Now we come to a very major period and chapter. Before all that, tell me, which event had triggered a Renaissance? Which event had triggered a Renaissance? Fall of Constantinople in 1453. Fall of Constantinople in 1453. It led to Renaissance. It led to Renaissance, right? What does this term Renaissance mean? What does the term Renaissance mean? It means a revival or a rebirth. Revival or a rebirth. In this context, we are talking about a revival of what? A revival of classical learning, classical knowledge systems, right? A Renaissance humanism. That's the full phrase, right? A Renaissance humanism. So do you think it is from this period onwards that the study of humanities was emphasized? And what do you mean by this phrase or this term, humanities? What does it mean to you? Human at the center, man-centric, man is important, okay? Human-centric, okay? Rationality, very good. Anything else? Yes, man is nuclear, okay, chain of being, right. Human-centric and rational, correct. Scientific developments, church and court are state, church and state are apart, you mean? They're separate from each other, yeah. Okay, yes, rebirth of human, men's mentality or anything, reason, individual experience, okay. Science replace faith. Okay, holistic, classics, neo-man, all right. Right. So if I give you this paragraph, you read it and tell me what is wrong with it. This term, the Renaissance, is, yeah, this thing. Please read it and let me know what is wrong with this paragraph. We will do this very thoroughly, this concept of Renaissance humanism. Is there any problem with the paragraph? Can you find any problem? Okay. Yes. Okay. Now read this. I will give you one statement and you tell me if it is true or false. Okay. Yes. Sandra, do you want to say something? Is there any problem with it? Okay. It is true. Right. Next. Right. I'm giving you because of statement-based questions, these things. True. So do you think this exercise is helping you through reading to just get a revision and the clarity of these concepts? Because look at the recent PSC exams, set exams, NT and NET, CUET PG, GATE. Look at this, even GATE, yes. Look at all these exams. They are focusing a lot on conceptual clarity. How you think when you see long paragraphs, how do you react to questions which are long, which are intentionally employing a twisted language? This is actually a very nice technique because when you are doing the reading, I'm not doing it. It's like a practice technique where you practice reading at the moment. Vidhi, the answer is everything is correct about the paragraph. Okay, yes. It helps you with instant reading and understanding things. Okay, right, no worries. Courtesy books or conduct books were popular during this period. Is it true or false? Yes. And can you tell me why? Why this emphasis on courtesy books or conduct books? Why? So many courtesy and conduct books were written during this time. Very Christian morality, they believed in the idea of gentleman. Moral chivalry, Renaissance gentleman, yes. Because they believed in creating a perfect courtier, the idea of courtier. This was like a job criteria for many. If you become a perfect gentleman, if you're well educated, you get to be the part of the court that would fetch you good pensions and honor within the social structure you belong to. So this idea of courtesy books or conduct books were a strategy. And mostly men of upper class, they got the opportunity to mold themselves in this particular way of a Renaissance humanism. Okay, right. Okay, good. Next, tell me. Yeah. Who is known as the father of humanism? Who is known as the father of humanism? It is Petrarch. Petrarch, he helped in spreading this fire of learning. Right. Now I will tell you some books. You tell me who are the authors. Think of it as match the following. Think of it as match the following, right? Because these days we can see lots of match the following questions are coming. At least 5 to 8 or maybe 10 match the following questions will be there in paper 2. So now take it as a match the following question. Okay. The Book of the Courtier. The Book of the Courtier. Baldassare Castiglione. Baldassare Castiglione. The Schoolmaster. Toxophilus. Roger Ascham. Roger Ascham. The book named The Governor. Castle of Health. Thomas Eliot. Thomas Eliot. Moray Encomium. Moray Encomium. Desiderius Erasmus. Desiderius Erasmus. Okay. Total's Miscellany. Total's Miscellany. I tricked you. Wait. Thamba. You tell me, Total's Miscellany was published in which year? 1557. 1557. Why is this work special? Can you tell me? What is the importance of this work? What is the importance of Total's Miscellany? Yes, Amina, correct. It was the first anthology to be published in English. It was the first anthology to be published in English. And it established which form? It established which form in England? Petrarchan sonnet. Petrarchan sonnet. The form of the sonnet or the genre of the sonnet was brought to England from? The genre of the sonnet was brought to England from? Italy. Italy. And which two poets were associated with this? Which two poets were associated with this? Villart and Surrey. Villart and Surrey. Surrey introduced dash in his translation of Virgil's Aeneid. Surrey introduced dash in his translation of Virgil's Aeneid. Blank verse, correct. We know that Virgil is often considered as the father of pastoral poetry. Is that true? Along with Theocritus, Virgil is often considered the father of pastoral poetry. What is the other name for pastoral poetry? What is the other name for pastoral poetry? Eclogues, Georgics, bucolics. Bucolic, this term came recently in exam. Bucolic poetry also is important. Bucolic, bucolic. Okay, that's another name for pastorals. Another name for pastorals. Okay. Okay, let me ask you more questions from this area. Okay. Tell me. I'm describing one character to you, or I'm describing a tale to you. You tell me who told this tale. Okay. This tale is based on a popular fabliau of the period with many different versions. Chaucer improves on this tale with various sources. And the summary of this tale goes like this. Here, Simkin is a miller who lives in Trumpington near Cambridge and who takes wheat and meal brought to him for grinding. Simkin is also a bully who cheats his customers with the help of his golden thumb. Who tells this tale? It is the Reeve. It is the Reeve's tale, right? Yes. So what was the name of the Reeve? What was the name of the Reeve? Oswald. Oswald. The Canterbury Tales gives you a portrait of the contemporary social structure with people coming from various walks of life. Yes, yes. Who is the host of this inn? Very easy. You tell me. Who is the host of this inn? Harry Bailey. Harry Bailey. What is the name of this inn? What is the name of this inn? Tabard Inn. Tabard Inn. What is the destination of these pilgrims? What is the destination of these pilgrims? They're going to visit the shrine of St. Thomas Becket. They're going to visit the shrine of St. Thomas Becket, a martyr. A martyr. Can you think of any other work which talks about the martyrdom of St. Thomas Becket? Can you think of any other work which talks about the martyrdom of St. Thomas Becket? Murder in the Cathedral by T.S. Eliot. Murder in the Cathedral of T.S. Eliot. Who lived in the island of Lesbos? Who lived in the island of Lesbos? Sappho. Sappho. If Not Winter is a collection of fragments of poetry of whom? If Not Winter, it's a collection of the poetry fragments of Sappho. Sappho. Correct. Correct. If Not Winter. If Not, comma, Winter. That's a collection of the fragments of Sappho. Sappho is associated with lesbian love and desires. True or false? Sappho is associated with lesbian love and desires. Okay. Okay. Next, tell me. Was Chaucer a man who was very much concerned with the affairs of the contemporary times? Was Chaucer a man who was very much concerned with affairs of the times? Yes, yes. He was very much involved politically, right? So he was a man who was very concerned, very preoccupied with the contemporary affairs. Chaucer's era witnesses a transition from the medieval to the modern. Chaucer's era witnesses a transition from the medieval to the modern. Modern. Can you tell me what is the meaning of the term modern? What is the meaning of the term modern? We hear so many terms. Modernity, modernism, modern. Let me mute you all, okay? So I can ask you these things also, because etymology is important. So this term modernism is coming from the Latin term modernus, I think, if I'm not wrong. Modernus, which means just now. Just now, yes, yes. And ironically, for every period is modern. For every generation, they're modern, right? Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. How many stories are there in the Canterbury Tales? How many stories are there in the Canterbury Tales? 24. 24. Correct, correct. Okay. Yes, yes. Next, tell me. Very, quite easy question, you can say. Can you tell me the time during which Metamorphoses was composed? What's the time when Metamorphoses was composed? They have asked this timeline once. Metamorphoses was composed by Ovid in 8 AD. 8 AD. It's a 15-book narrative poem written in Rome during the reign of Augustus Caesar. It was written in 8 CE or AD. That's what they're showing, 8 CE or AD. Yes. Right. In one of the exams, they had recently asked this question. In which period, in which era this work was composed? Okay, right. Next, tell me. Yeah, 8 CE or AD, both are correct. Next, tell me. Yeah. Who is devoted to the study of philosophy in the Canterbury Tales? Who is devoted to the study of philosophy in the Canterbury Tales? It is the Clerk of Oxford. The Clerk of Oxford. Okay. And he tells which tale? He tells which tale? He tells the tale of Griselda, a young woman whose husband tests her loyalty in a series of cruel torments that recall the biblical book of Job. The Clerk of Oxford, the Canterbury Tales, told the tale of Griselda, a young woman whose husband tests her loyalty in a series of cruel moments that recall the biblical book of Job, which is the first book in English by a woman. Which is the first book in English by a woman. First book in English by a woman. Yes, very good. It is the book of Margery Kempe. Though she was illiterate, she had dictated this autobiography, her visions, to Yes, to the father of the church. And the father actually wrote down this book because Marjorie Kemp wasn't illiterate. But this is considered the first book in English for a woman. The book of Marjorie Kemp. Yes, the book of Marjorie Kemp. No, not first autobiography. First autobiography is St. Augustine's Confessions. Don't get confused between these things because they can trick you. The first autobiography ever written is St. Augustine's Confessions. That was the first autobiography ever written. St. Augustine's Confessions. The book of Marjorie Kemp is the first book in English by a woman. Okay, don't get confused. All right. Your topic. What do you mean, Achal? Your topic? I couldn't understand your question. Okay. Next, tell me. Yeah. Did any of you just text me? I want to know the other sessions encyclopedia. Yes, the encyclopedia revisions, but upgraded. Upgraded, Isha. We upgrade our revisions with each passing cycle. Okay. Our revision sessions are based on all the recent PYQs and PYQs of not only NET, but various set exams, PSC exams, okay, various PhD entrances, GATE, SET, everything. We always keep upgrading our sessions. Okay, I hope this helps. Oh, yeah. All right. Next, tell me. Yeah. St. Augustine's Confessions years. Okay, I will tell you. Though there's quite a debate about the year. So, Confessions of Augustine of Hippo, it was composed sometime between AD 397 and 400. Between AD 397 and 400. Because you can understand back that time when Augustine was writing this work, I don't think he ever thought that this work would ever get the standard of this canonical text of one of the most widely read autobiographies ever written. There is not a single theological course in this world where Augustine is not studied. Right? So Augustine is very important. Somebody, I didn't understand. Gate, how many options means? Okay, next. Oh, I think 4 to 5. They also have MSQs now, so that's a bit different. Yeah. Next, tell me. All right. Which character had a beard as white as Daisy? This came recently in UPHESE exam. Which character had beard as white as Daisy? It is the Franklin. He was the man of law's companion. Man of law's companion, the Franklin, had beard as white as Daisy. This question came recently in UPHESE exam. Okay, yes. The name of the book of the first woman, yes. The book of Marjorie Kemp, correct. Okay. Who played fiddle? Who played the fiddle? The friar. The friar. Who wore a shining silver picture of Saint Christopher on his breast? The yeoman wore a shining silver picture of Saint Christopher on his breast. Who had a bracelet which with written on it, Amor vincit omnia, or love conquers all? Yes, the prioress. The prioress. Was she a very devout woman, very religious? No, very pretentious. She got upset at the sight of very negligible things, but had no real sympathy for men. So the prioress was a very pretentious woman, fashionable. Yes. Okay. Right. Next, tell me. Which historical novels are there which talk about Anne Boleyn, Thomas Cromwell? Which historical novels talk about them? Bring up the bodies of Hilary Mantel. Bring up the bodies of Hilary Mantel. What is the rhyme scheme of English sonnet or Shakespearean sonnet? The rhyme scheme of Shakespearean sonnet. A B A B C D C D E F E F G G. A B A B C D C D E F E F G G. Okay. The book of Philip Sparrow is by? The book of Philip Sparrow is by? John Skelton. John Skelton. Very good. John Skelton. Okay. Right. John Skelton. Someone asked something. Question here, how to actually remember these individuals. I have gone to them a lot of times. Okay. Urvashi, the idea is to do selective reading because it is not humanly possible to remember everything. So do selective reading of important things. You know, better than PDF would be to make the audio a bit faster from our website and then listen to it. I think that would be more effective. If you just open our website after 24 hours, just make it a bit faster, say 1.25, and then just listen to it again. Okay. Delia is a sonnet sequence by? Delia is a sonnet sequence by Samuel Daniel. Samuel Daniel. Diana is a sonnet sequence by? Diana is a sonnet sequence by Henry Constable. Henry Constable. Correct. I had one question to ask you always. Yeah. I'm telling you the names of some works. You tell me who wrote them. Theogony, Works and Days, Catalogue of Women. All these are works by Hesiod. Very good, Ravi. Yes, it is by. These are works by Hesiod. Hesiod. Theogony, Works and Days, Catalogue of Women. Do you know who wrote the play Antigone? Who wrote the play Antigone? It is by Sophocles. Sophocles. Right. Which theorist and critique wrote a work on Antigone? That work is titled Antigone's Claim, Kinship Between Life and Death. This work was published in the year 2000. It's a very important work. Yes, I will repeat. Antigone's Claim, Kinship Between Life and Death. It's a major work of criticism by Judith Butler. Judith Butler. I will mention the works of Hesiod once again. It is Theogony. Theogony, that's the very important work, Theogony. Then we have Works and Days, Works and Days. And also Catalogue of Women, Catalogue of Women. These are major works of Hesiod. These are major works of Hesiod. Janaki, just try to revise almost every day, at least some chapters. Antigone's claim was published in the year 2000. In the year 2000. Antigone's claim, kinship between life and death. Shri, okay. Antigone's claim, kinship between life and death. All right, all right. So did you all learn something new from this session? Yes, 2000, right. Which work of Boccaccio inspired the Canterbury Tales? Which work of Boccaccio inspired the Canterbury Tales? Boccaccio's Decameron. This idea of the frame narrative, of story within story, that was borrowed from Boccaccio's Decameron. This idea of the frame narrative of the Canterbury Tales was borrowed from Boccaccio's Decameron. Boccaccio's Decameron. Okay. All right. Okay. Next. Am I missing something? Horace's Ars Poetica is about what? Horace's Ars Poetica is about what? Yes, it's actually a short poem. Ars Poetica is actually a short poem in which he advises poets on the art of poetry, writing, and drama. On the art of poetry, writing, and drama. Okay. If I give you all a homework, will you do it? Yeah. Please learn New Historicism in context of Renaissance period. New Historicism in context of Renaissance period. Also learn Foucault's genealogy of power. Foucault's genealogy of power in context of Renaissance. In context of Renaissance. Sri Lakshmi, tomorrow's topic, I think I can tell you that from the group. Wait. Tomorrow is 6th, right? Tomorrow is 6th. Tomorrow you have, I think from Shakespeare. You will have tomorrow Shakespeare and his contemporaries. Yeah. Okay. All right. So do you have confusion with any question? Anything you couldn't understand? Which book you have read, Gayatri? Okay, we will try to give you PDFs. Okay, I will talk to my team. Yes, reports will be given, quizzes will be there. Thank you, Anjali. Here, before we talk, before there's a discussion happens on Shakespeare and his, the idea of the body politic, please also look up the idea of the body politic. Okay. Body politic.